I want to quickly talk to you about how to do a LinkedIn ads audit. Okay. Basically, if you are considering LinkedIn as one of your primary platforms for advertising, it's important to really conduct an audit, an ads audit every now and then to make sure that you're optimizing your advertising strategy on LinkedIn. So here are the steps I want you to really pay attention to. The thing is that, first of all, LinkedIn is not like any other social media. Okay. This is actually an essential platform to help you connect with other businesses, potential employees, and more. Okay. This is totally different from Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook or Snapchat. Okay. And LinkedIn ads can help you reach your audience even more effectively. Okay. So, how do you do a LinkedIn ads audit? You first want to determine your LinkedIn ads account objectives. Everything starts from there. You got to have a clear idea what your objectives really are. Okay. Have a discussion with your team to understand what you and them or you and they are trying to get out of the platform. Every account is different and everyone's goals are different. So what works for one company might not work for another one, or maybe even yours. Okay. So let me give you a few questions to ask yourself as you begin the process. What am I trying to accomplish with my LinkedIn campaigns? Am I looking for conversions? If so, what are the conversion actions I want? Demo requests, content downloads, webinar registrations, inbound phone calls. If not, am I looking for on-platform engagement, traffic to the site, to my company site, audience and awareness building, etc.? What types of efficiency metrics am I looking for? Do I need cost per lead CPL or cost per acquisition CPA to be within a certain range, or am I just trying to get as much traffic to the site to the lowest, for the lowest CPC that I can attain? Those are quintessential questions, okay? The answer to those questions will help you in your audit process in two ways. First, you'll be able to tell if your current setup is helping you achieve your goals or not. That's the first one. Second, you'll be able to identify new tools you may not be using that can help you realize your goals in the first place. Those will actually come as I move through the audit, but without this foundational information about what you're trying to achieve, it's hard to know what you are looking for in the first place. Okay, you need to understand that LinkedIn is mostly B2B, so that's an important element to really keep in mind. So you want to really understand the target audience, but also the segmentations you need to have in the first place. So number one, you want to determine your LinkedIn ads account objectives. Number two, you want to get clear on performance and conversion tracking. That's going to help you big time. Let me explain a little bit. So basically, you want to track performance and campaign success, and you want to do so at multiple levels. Okay, so just like understanding the goals of the account, you need to know if the data you're looking at is accurate or outdated or something else. It's one thing to audit an account and give ideas on why someone or a company is not achieving the goals, right? It's an entirely different thing to do that and then realize later on that conversion tracking is broken and none of that data you are looking at is accurate. Okay. So always start by auditing the conversion tracking setup on any account to ensure you are making changes based on good data. Look for the pixels to be placed on the right pages of the site and ensure all triggers are firing appropriately for each call to action in the buyer funnel. Next, you want to choose campaign objectives properly. So depending on what the stated goals are for the account, campaign objectives can make or break an account success. So your account success is actually based primarily on the campaign objectives. So let me explain. Let's say you are trying to generate more sales from LinkedIn, but you're only using, say, video view or brand awareness objectives, there is a bit of mismatch here when you think about it. Okay. Conversely, if you want to drive awareness and spread the word about your products, but are focused only on website conversions, that could also be a problem. Again, a mismatch. So let me give you a few questions to ask when looking at campaign objectives. So, do the campaign objectives that I'm using align with my stated goals? That's number one. Number two, are there additional campaign objectives I should be using to complement my current efforts? And thirdly, are there any additional campaign objectives I should stay away from based on what I'm trying to do? The third step, the fourth step actually, in a LinkedIn ads audit is to really dig deeper into your audience targeting. That's going to help you big time, okay? And you want to be as granular as possible. You want to understand the psychographics of your target audience. You want to know their desire, their interests, their age, gender, their demographics, okay? And so this is where you need to apply the persona information that you actually received to determine if the campaigns are actually reaching the users you want, or if those campaigns are missing the mark. So you want to start by determining how you are reaching your audience. Are you using job titles? Are you using industries? Are you using company size, company lists, or some combination of multiple options? That's what I told you a little earlier about the psychographics. Okay. Now there is no right or wrong answer here. You're just simply trying to determine if you are reaching the right users. It's all about seeing what works and what doesn't. So a helpful tool for this is the segment breakdown on the right hand side of the screen. You will see the audience size, okay, which I'll actually speak about in a second. And then you will have a show segments link below it. If you click on that, it will open up a short list, usually starting with function. This tells you the breakdown of the audience you are currently targeting with that campaign. Now, if you are using certain job function targeting, you would expect that it would match up pretty closely, but it doesn't always. Okay, so this is an important element. So, but as you scroll through, you have the possibility to actually go as granular as possible. So, in addition to looking at who you are targeting, it's also important to look at who you are excluding, right? Who you are including, but also who you are excluding. Are there any exclusions at all? Are you excluding your customers? If you are using lead generation forms, are you excluding anyone who has filled out the form? And also, do you exclude competitors from your campaigns? What about partner companies? Okay, so every industry is different, so you have to really answer those questions for your specific niche. Maybe in your niche, you don't really care about including competitors actually from your campaigns. As a matter of fact, you want competitors to actually be out of your campaigns. That's actually a choice that can really make sense in some industries and not in others. Okay, so you have to see what kind of industry you're in and what kind of target audience you're going after. You also want to look into additional audience settings. So if you want to do a LinkedIn ads audit, you want to pay attention to those additional audience settings big time. Let me explain a little further. So in addition to the targeting and exclusion settings, there are a few other things you can do in the audience section on LinkedIn. The first is pretty straightforward. What location and language are you targeting? So that's geography. So this is likely a quick check off the list if you are in the right place and using the right language. So easy peasy here, lemon squeezy. The same actually is true for the last option in the audience builder, audience expansion. So with a simple checkbox, you give LinkedIn the ability to reach users who are similar to your audience but wouldn't qualify to be in it. So this is kind of cool, okay? So if you need expansion, there are plenty of other targeting types you can test and iterate on without ever needing to use the expansion feature. So if this is checked, I suggest you uncheck the box and then try out other audiences to test if you need more scale. Next, you want to analyze audience size. So speaking of sale, what's the right size audience for LinkedIn? Well, there's no one single answer for this, but usually somewhere in the 30,000 to 100,000 range is a pretty solid size, okay? So anything below that can get restricted and you can oversaturate your group pretty quickly. Anything above that can leave potential for performance optimizations with audience segmentations on the table, okay? Now, that's not to say though, that's not to say that audiences outside this range cannot really work. But on average, you likely will have an uphill battle in one way or another. So if the audience you're auditing is less than 30,000, try and research additional targeting options you could test to expand the campaign's reach. Look to see if you are being too restrictive with exclusions, and potentially try other personas based on based on how the buying process works. And if the audience you're auditing is more than 100,000, can you find meaningful segmentations to try? Should you break your campaigns out by company size for more direct messaging? And also, are there job functions or industries sneaking into your targeting without knowing that they should be excluded? You also want to check ad placements. So if you want to do a LinkedIn ads audit, think about ad placements, okay? And so, like just about every other advertising platform, LinkedIn lets you publish ads directly on their platform, as well as a network of third-party sites that they have partnered with. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So just like with audience expansion, you want to turn off on all of you want to turn this on all your campaigns. So the benefit of LinkedIn is the control and placement of the ads to the exact right users. So while the network says you can reach the same folks around the web, in my experience, okay, the network only drives crap to the sites. The CPCs might be lower, but the actual ROAS isn't there. So if the account you're auditing doesn't have the audience network turned on, then do your due diligence and check the network performance. In the main campaign tab, click on breakdown, then select placement. If it's driving the leads and overall performance looks good on the account you're auditing, you want to look at the quality also of those leads. You also want to review budget and schedule. That's important. We do not want to be over budget here, right? So the budget and schedule section is a pretty simple review. Are you following the budget you have assigned, and are you running the ads during the right period of time? The budget can be daily, lifetime, or a combination of daily and lifetime controls. No real wrong way to do this. Just make sure whatever you have in the settings matches up to your stated budget, okay? And same thing with scheduling. You can set up an ad schedule to have a start and end date, or to be always on, or what I call evergreen. So make sure this lines up with your calendar of efforts, and make changes if it's not. So this is something to really think about. I mean, this is one of those areas you have to constantly pay attention to, okay? But one thing I want to say is that you have to, if you are reviewing budget and schedule, you have to look at the audience network, because there is a direct correlation. There is a positive correlation between the audience network and the schedule and budget. You also want to look at your bidding strategies. If you want to do a LinkedIn ads audit, look at your bidding strategies this year. Okay, basically, depending on which campaign objective the campaign is using, there are up to 3 bidding options on LinkedIn. So you have maximum delivery, you have cost cap, and manual bidding. So, if you don't see manual bidding, for instance, it's because they have it hidden under the show additional options link, which only hides that one item, okay? So in the vast majority of accounts, the setting you want to avoid is maximum delivery, okay? This is very expensive. So the key phrase in the maximum delivery description is with your full budget. And with this setting, LinkedIn tries to spend the full amount it has available every single day, regardless of what the returns are. cost cap is actually its own beast, and if the account you are looking at is using it and it's hitting goals, then it's fine to keep it. But the best option on LinkedIn is actually manual bidding. And with this option, you set your bids to whatever the maximum you are willing to pay for a click, instead of letting LinkedIn set it for you, right? So, and it's one of those things where when you want to really take the best shot here, you want to opt into manual bidding first. Okay, that's actually what you need to do. Like the first thing. Okay, so you want to opt into a manual bidding, and you want to set your starting bid super low, way lower than the range that they suggest, because I mean LinkedIn is built to make money through advertising, among other things. So if they set a certain range, you bet that they're setting that range in their favor. So you want to really set a range that is way lower than what LinkedIn is suggesting. Okay, as you see performance come in, increase your bids slowly to get more volume and ideally more leads. And if you don't see any traction in the first few days, say, you might be too low, and that's okay. Just slowly increase your bid until you do, then adjust accordingly. This way, you get the same target audience but with the lowest CPCs possible to start. Then you control the volume and CPC you get by increasing or decreasing bids based on the performance that you actually see. If you want to do a LinkedIn ads audit this year, you want to make sure applicable conversion settings are applied. Okay, so make sure those applicable conversion actions are actually added to the campaign if you are using a compatible campaign objective. So depending on the goals for the campaign, make sure all of applicable conversions are added so that you'll be able to see the full results in the campaigns tab. Additionally, no matter which bidding strategy you use, the platform will help you hit your goals in some way, shape, or form. So with maximum delivery or most cap, for instance, it's fully automated. But with manual bidding, you will see in this actually basically your bid. You'll see your bid when it thinks a conversion is likely. So for this setting, make sure all of valuable conversions are tracked for each campaign depending on their individual goals. You also want to check your ad formats and creatives. So formats, which ad formats are you using? Are there any that seem to be performing better or worse than others? Are there any ad formats you're not using that you should test? And should you change campaign objectives based on the call to action you are using so you can leverage a different ad formats? Also think about your creatives. So no matter what format you select, you want to review the ad creative and make sure you are taking advantage of all that the creative is able to actually do. So that's really good. And so, for instance, are the images you are using eye-catching, or are they boring and bland? You have landscape, square, and mobile images to cover the best rendering on all devices. Are you using the surrounding text to the fullest? Does the messaging entice someone to click, or is it boring and salesy? Are you speaking directly to the target audience you have cultivated, or are you simply reusing corporate messaging? Okay. And finally, you want to review your calls to action. So what call to action is the account using? Or to put it in a different way, what is the account offering its prospective customers, right? It's all about the value that you are adding, okay? And so think about that, and you have to constantly sort of tweak the call to action to see what works and what doesn't work. So in conclusion to this conversation, I explained to you how to do a LinkedIn ads audit, and I give you the steps and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.